So I'm creating a lesson plan for my students on the American Revolution. I really want to include some primary sources, and I want to make sure that those sources are local history sources. My students get really excited about big historical events, how they play out in their own hometown. So the first thing I need to do is some research on the topic. Now, I already know quite a bit about the American Revolution, but I don't know as much about how that event played out in the town where I teach. So I'm going to do some online research. And then I'm also going to go to the local library and see if they have any books about the American Revolution in the town. When I do online research, I want to make sure that I stick with sources that are reliable. So I always try to start with websites that have either a .gov, a .edu, or a .org extension. They tend to be more reliable. Once I get onto the website, then I'm going to look for things like who created the website, when it was created, and why it was created. If I can't find answers to those questions really quickly, I'm just going to move on to another website. So now I have some great information about the town in the American Revolution. It was really great doing the online research. I got some names of people that were important, some events that took place nearby, but now I really want to find some primary sources to really get my students jazzed up. So I'm going to give a call over to my local library. They have a special collections room, and I was able to find their information online. I'm going to talk with someone who works there and see if she can help me out. Hi. Yes, my name is Suzanne, and I teach at a local school here in town, and I'm looking to do some research on the American Revolution. I'm doing a lesson for my students on the American Revolution, and I want to include some local primary sources. Yes, definitely. Okay. That sounds really interesting. Well, I noticed on your website it says that you're open until 6 o'clock on Thursdays. That's great. And you'll be there? Perfect. Okay, yes, I will definitely do that. All right, thanks so much. Bye-bye. Great. I have an appointment on Thursday after school, and the archivist is going to meet me there and help me get oriented to some of the materials. She asked me to bring a digital camera. She said I'll be able to take some pictures of some of the local sources, and that'll help me keep track of all of my research and so on. So I'm really excited, so let's see what happens.
Well, Suzanne, it's really good to meet you, and I understand through your email that you are working with your students on the Revolutionary War period and constitutional period. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah.
Good. Then you would like to know what kinds of sources the Hampshire Room for Local History has, particularly primary sources. Is that right?
Yes. I'm really interested in integrating some local primary sources
Okay.
into the lessons with my students because I find it really engages them.
Excellent. Now, we love to see students come to the archive as well as teachers, so that's just great.
Oh, good.
What would you like to look at first?
I think the folders would be great.
Okay, the Stephen C. Strong collection.
Right? Okay.
And I'm going to give you this.
Seems like the Finding Aid is a good place to start.
Right.
Well, this stuff is really amazing, and I'm really excited to get started, so I'm going to start digging into some of these folders. I want to make sure I keep really good track of which folder I'm pulling this out of and which box, because it seems like if I needed to go back at some point and find this material again, I'll need that information. So I'm going to make sure I keep track of that. I found a couple of documents that I think I'd like to incorporate into a lesson plan for my students. So I guess I need to know what I do from here. I'm interested in this, what looks like kind of a small memo, and then this letter behind it.
Sure. What you may want to do is to isolate what you want to use, and then use a digital camera. Do you have one with you today?
I did. I brought one with me.
Good. We can also scan, but that gets a little bit pricey, you know. But the scanning, if the letters are very small, if the handwriting is small, scanning may be the way you want to go. I don't know how optimal it will be with your camera, but usually anyone who comes to the archive raves about how their digital cam works great with these manuscripts. So hopefully it will work for you too. And I can put those aside for you, or you can put them aside, on an acid-free sheet.
Well, now I'm back at my desk and ready to write up the lesson plan. I found a really neat diary at the archive that I think I'm going to use some sections from to help support the lesson on the American Revolution. Before I do that, though, I'm going to make sure I send a thank you note to the archivist. She was super helpful and really helped focus my research. She really knows the collection there, and she could help me find things that I would never have been able to find if I'd gone in just by myself. So I definitely recommend to anyone, if this is your first trip to an archive, to go to an archive that has a staff and to make sure you make an appointment ahead of time to meet with that person. It just makes the experience so much more rewarding. So I'm going to sit down and start working on my lesson plan. Good luck to you and yours, and happy hunting.